Today I'm dropping a video on how I warm up my upper body before a resistance training session. I always spend the first few minutes priming my shoulder joints. These are going to handle a lot of stress because the shoulders are going to be heavily engaged in both pulling and pushing exercises. So, I think it'd be advisable to perform multiple movement patterns through the shoulders given the great versatility of directions this joint has to offer. My go-to staples are dislocations, pull-aparts, and face pulls. These three with resistance bands. And then I also like to include a military press as well as glute raises with my own body weight or very light loads if I'm at the gym. Shortly after, I move on to the elbow joint, which is much more basic at an anatomical level. The elbow can either flex or extend, so you could cover both movements with resistance bands like you see me do on the screen. Pushdowns are going to prime the triceps at the back of the arms, whereas curls with different grips are going to prepare the biceps and the forearm muscles. Beware that if you were to do complex and more advanced bodyweight movements on the floor, now it would be a good time for you to warm up the wrist joint properly and include some drills to activate your core muscles. For me, however, what you see on the screen is more than enough. I finish off this part of the warm-up with the two main pulling directions. The first one is horizontal, also known as rowing, and the second one is vertical, which mimics the joint dynamics in a pull-up. As you can see, the intensity is very low given the limitations of a light resistance band, but I'm just rather interested in simply activating the multiple and complex muscles of the back and shoulders. Then I proceed to start the second phase of the warm-up, which is the one that focuses on specific movements. It would usually make sense to perform 1 to 2 ramp-up sets in preparation for the actual working set that counts at the end. If my training were to program a harder progression of a push-up with external weights, it could be wise to ease your way into the working set with easier regressions of the push-up. Like first incline push-ups on an elevated surface or bar and then perform push-ups on the floor. This could be very intuitive with simple exercises like push-ups and inverted rows, where the body angle pretty much dictates the intensity. But things get a little bit trickier with other movements. In the particular case of the pull-up, for example, there are many regressions to choose from. Here I'm showing you the ones I practice the most depending on location and circumstances. If my program were to prescribe weighted pull-ups, I'd start by completing a few reps of feet-assisted pull-ups with rings. Then I would take a light band to lower the intensity during the first few pull-ups I do before moving on to the working sets. But as I said before, this is the way I do it. If you want to use a different combination of regressions, please be my guest. Ramp-up sets are a very easy concept to grasp if you work with free weights. If a working set prescribes you to lift, let's say, 60 kilos for 10 reps during a given exercise, it might be a good idea to perform a set exercise with 20 kilos for 8 to 10 reps in your first ramp-up set, and then perform a second one with 40 kilos for, let's say, about 4 to 5 repetitions. This approach is a great strategy to prime your coordination and nervous system with the specific angles where you are about to exert force with greater intensities. At the end of the day, a good warm-up is simply the art of easing your way into your workout in a way that covers all the bases. That way you put yourself in a safer and more prepared position to perform at your highest level when the time comes, aka your working sets. I really hope you found a ton of value in today's episode. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and click on the notification bell so that you won't miss future videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.